What's up, Eastern Oregon? This is Dodzy with EOAlive Sports, and it's a special edition today. This is brought to you by Northwest Furniture and Mattress in LeGrand. Go check them out. The Daggett family, they do a lot for this community. They're always involved in everything sports-wise, whether it be sponsoring or just showing up. Big Red Rocking Chair on Elm off Adams in LeGrand. So, back to the show today. So, we talk EOU soccer. Both men's and women's soccer are heading to Medford to start the CCC tournament this weekend. The women are the number 3 seed. The men are the number 1 seed. And that's who we're going to talk to today, is this men's team has had a historic year. They went undefeated. They're the number 1 seed in the CCC tournament because they won the CCC regular season championship. For the first time ever, this team is in the top 25 at number 23. And a lot of that has to do with this guy, my guest, head coach Jessy Watson. Here it is. Jessy, how are you?
I'm doing well. How about
It's
yourself?
been a while, man,
Yeah.
but this EOU men's soccer team just continues to impress me. It's crazy.
The boys are playing very well this year.
Yeah.
And
So do you let's kind of go back a little bit and we'll talk about last year, the 4th in the conference, and then all of a sudden, just out of the blue, we're going to go ahead and win this tournament and win the CCC tournament. What was that like?
traditionally, EOU is always playing its best football by the season end. Last year, no exception. I think the big difference was the boys just really gelled about midway through the season. We took some lumps, so we had to learn some hard lessons. And then by the time we hit playoffs, we were rolling pretty well.
Yeah.
And that made it just the belief in each other. The boys were really believing in each other. They had each other's back. They believed in the coaching staff. My assistant coaches and myself were, just feeding these guys what they needed in order to perform well, and they did just that.
Yeah, they did. I don't want to say I was surprised because I wasn't really surprised. I kind of had a feeling that there was they were gonna make a run, but it was a good, you know what I mean? It was very good reward for all the work that those dudes put in last year.
I'd agree. And again, we had some, we talk about the soccer luck or soccer gods, depends on who you talk to, right? Whatever it is. We had some balls bounce our way at playoffs. We were down in that first game, 1-0 with 8 minutes left in the game.
That's crazy.
The boys just kept going and got 2 goals late. And I think from there, just the belief grew that we could achieve and overcome just about anything that got in our way.
So this year, undefeated. The polls just came out. Finally made it into the top 25 at 23.
Yeah,
we've gotten receiving votes a few weeks.
We received votes twice this year in
Yeah.
2 separate polls. It's difficult to break that top 25 if you're not where most of the Raiders are, which is in the Midwest.
Right.
And we didn't face any Midwest teams at this point in the season.
Right.
I think we were a little surprised not to get receiving votes right out of the gate based on how we finished last year.
Yeah.
Because we won our first round, but I think it's the way we won the first round. We ended up winning it in PKs instead of just winning it outright.
That's right.
And I think that's what cost us the receiving votes early.
That kind of makes sense, but at the same time, I kind of look at it like men's soccer for the West Coast right now in the NAIA is in about the same place like volleyball was about 10 years ago.
I think so.
If you know
I'll be
sport,
honest. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think that the West Coast itself, I don't think we've had a national champion come from the West region, at least not since I've been here in the last 10 years. And so it's really difficult to talk the Midwest teams that are winning national championships to say, okay, well, we're valid over here. You got to give us some validation. So it's something you got to go out and keep fighting for.
That's got to be a goal, though, for the CCC coaches is to be let's get this conference to where
Absolutely
there's constant, respect on, because, you guys took the California trip and obviously went undefeated down there, a couple ties, I think, but beat a ranked team on the road. That's
they're tough.
A small task.
Yeah, and Westcliff just received votes. Again, they were top 25 when we played them.
Yeah.
They're well coached. They're quality players. So for us, that's not an easy task. They are a high quality program.
I thought after that week you guys should have been ranked myself, but we don't. it's not even about rankings, really. I mean, it is. You want to make it into the tournament, but if you win your conference tournament, you're in. Or if you win your conference, so let's just do that and go.
The biggest thing for me, because some of my boys are like, what does it matter if we're ranked? Like most of my guys, yeah, they'd love to see it, but some are like, what does it matter? Like we just got to go win anyway. And they're right. But the big one for us is if we can finish high enough in the polls, then we have the outside chance or a chance of hosting the first and second rounds here.
Yes.
Which is massive. I mean,
that would be crazy.
I mean, we were traveling once we made it into playoffs last year, like loads of games, like 3 games inside of like 6 days. You're back in LeGrand for 3 days, and then you're back on a plane. We flew to Georgia, right? And then we had 2 games. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
Yep.
I would love to see a soccer playoff game here. That would be crazy.
That's what we're shooting for this year is how do we make that happen? I think we still have some work to be done. Obviously, we've got to win our matches this weekend. It's soccer, so anything could happen.
It definitely can.
If we do our part and we go and win the conference tournament, I think we have about a 50-50 chance of hosting a first and second round.
That would be awesome, man. Why? Okay, so let's talk about that conference tournament. Why doesn't it pass like all the rest of the tournaments? You know, volleyball, you win the conference, you host the tournament. Do we just not have the facilities, or what? Why is that? Why is it always in the same spot? Isn't it like in Medford or something?
Yeah, this last year they moved it to Medford. It used to be in Eugene.
Right. Yeah.
And I think we've often asked that question, like why doesn't it go to like host places, so on and so forth?
Yeah.
Well, some of our schools are in Montana, Eastern Oregon, right? Like you never know what the weather is going to look like.
That's true.
Like it could be, like you could go to Montana.
Yeah, a foot of snow on there and trying to play soccer.
And you know, last year we're getting ready for nationals and we rock up for our last training. Starts out great, and then in 10 minutes it starts snowing and our field's gone.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that they just try to put it in an area where we don't have to have any. There's no hiccups, no delays. We can just keep things moving.
I mean, that makes sense. It does, but that would be cool too to host.
For sure.
A conference tournament. That's what 10 teams. How many teams are in the CCC for soccer? 10, 12?
So we have 13 teams right now.
13. Because we lost Multnomah last year, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
13 teams in the conferences. And in soccer, it's just straight up top 8 teams make it.
Yep.
Yeah. So and right now we're sitting number 1.
Yeah, we've got a big weekend coming.
Yeah. Is that was that the goal? Like you obviously you tell the guys we want to be number 1. Some coaches are like kind of, not scared but apprehensive about being number 1 going into a tournament.
Never been apprehensive about it.
No. Yeah. Well,
at the end of the day, for me and I speak for myself as a coach. Like obviously, we want to strive for the top, whatever the top looks like.
I agree with that. I don't understand when a coach is apprehensive. Although, like, there are certain situations where I think, like, a loss isn't bad. You know what I mean? Like, if there's a lesson that needs to be learned before a big tournament or a national tournament, it's like, hopefully you get your ass kicked so you learn that lesson.
That was us last year.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we were flying high, had our last game against Warner Pacific. The guys were feeling pretty good about themselves. And Warner Pacific came here and bopped us 3-0.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh, man. So obviously, we haven't lost the game yet this year. What's different this year?
We brought in, we had a great signing class. I will say that. Offensively, we got better. I think the next part is we returned a lot of key players. We've been through these situations. We've faced a lot of the same scenarios that we faced this year. And they remember, right? They remember, hey, if we'd have done this little bit thing different last year, we probably have won that game. So this year, we've been behind a couple times. We've won one. We've tied one, right? So just the difference in mentality is the big one. Yeah. Is guys just refuse to lose, and it's going to happen. You're going to lose at some point, right? And that's just the way it goes. Yeah. But this year, the guys have just been, just resilient. I don't think there's another word for it. Like our heads don't drop. They score a goal. We're like, all right, well, we got time. Let's go figure this out.
Yeah, we got to figure out how to get this one back.
Yep.
Who's kind of stepped up into the leadership role on the team this year?
So many.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
Yeah, I agree.
We've had a lot of guys that have shown up this year and probably taken on a little more weight than maybe they did last year. They've grown tremendously, just as young men and how they go about things. Because a big part of it is I feel like as a man, like if you're wrong, just be like I'm wrong. If you're right, it's good to be right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It doesn't
But,
hurt.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. But at the same time, if you can just say, okay, well, yeah, maybe I wasn't right. So how do I fix it, and how do I move forward? I mean, everyone's stepped up. I mean, Pablo, Renee, freaking Danny, like Tono in the goal. You name it. Angel Sandoval. Like we've just got guys after guys that are like stepping into roles. Even players that aren't getting as many minutes, maybe as they expected this year. Yeah, and they come to training ready to go. They're on the sideline, like rooting their guys on. Like the attitude and mentality is impeccable, to be honest.
Let's talk about that a little bit, because I feel like that's one of the things in the past that's been a problem for your teams, is like the culture was just, and whether it had to do with guys not getting enough minutes or whatever else, I like this year you can walk out there and you can tell that the culture is right. You
Yes.
know what I mean? And it's straightened out, whatever it was. And obviously there, we've talked about it a little bit off camera, the whole virus thing. One person can just spread a virus, or two people,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it affects the whole team. And I have not seen that one bit this year at all.
It's not a thing. The culture's been great this year.
I love that.
In the past, we struggled a little bit with culture. Guys weren't happy with what they were getting.
Yes.
Instead of getting to work and trying to earn it, they'd just be mad, and then it's like putting a bad apple in a bushel of apples. Like over the course of time,
They all go bad.
it's going to affect apples around it, and we just have not had any of that this year.
What about your assistant coaches? Your assistant coaches are Oscar.
Yeah, Davis McGee.
Oh,
and,
yeah, Davis,
and
yeah.
Adam Endress. Yeah.
And you lost Christian this year.
Yeah, don't even remind me.
Yeah, I mean,
miss
that's
Christian. We all miss Christian.
I would
He was a
imagine.
massive part of our staff. Not having him on staff is certainly one of those things. Like if we can make any changes to this year, it'd be, hey, let's add Christian back to the staff.
Is he coaching somewhere, or is
No,
he just taking a...
Christian and his wife, Genesis, they had a baby.
Oh, they
and
did. That's right.
He chose the responsible dad route. You can't be mad at him.
Not at all.
He said it. He's like, look, I love soccer and I'd love to be here, but he goes, if I don't do this now, which he needs, I mean, I respect it from him so much as, he took the time to like focus on his family and it's the right decision. But we still miss him.
So Oscar's kind of stepped up and taken that role, or I mean, like your right hand man, basically.
Yeah. And again, like last year in the coaching staff. So one of the things I really need from my coaches is I need you. I'm not like the boss. I'm not like I don't have to be in control of everything. I don't have to be right all the time. I don't need you to tell me yes if you don't think it's yes. So that's one of the big asks I have from my coaching staff is, hey, look, if we're talking about something and we're whatever it is, and if you don't agree, don't agree. Like, please, like you don't have to agree with me. And that's one of the strengths that we have, I think, from our coaching staff. Christian was really he's a strong personality, so it was really good having him in there. Oscar's a strong personality. Davis has been with me for 4 years, right? So he's comfortable having conversations with me. Adam has always been that way. I coached him in high school, so he's a quiet guy, but he does have no problem saying, hey, well, I don't know that I agree with that. And I think that's what makes us function so well.
That's absolutely imperative in sports, is to have coaches that are willing to get through the hard stuff for the greater outcome. And the hard stuff is holding people accountable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 100%. It's not easy. Nobody likes doing it.
No.
And even if you know you're right, and it's really hard if it's like somebody who coached you too.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I respect that. I mean, I think it's one of those things where, rural schools like EOU, you have to hire, GAs. You have to have people from within your program. But then there also has to be a clear line. Like, hey, when I hire, when you're coming on, we're no longer Jessy and so-and-so, the player and the coach. You hold me accountable, I hold you accountable.
Absolutely.
And that right there alone can make a team successful or not.
I think our success last year started with the coaching staff.
Yeah.
Is having those young men there, holding me accountable, me holding the team accountable, all of us working together. That's what started everything.
Yeah.
Is that we all believed in what we were trying to do, and we were able to show that to the team as well.
So moving forward through this year, what do we got? Two league games left?
We do.
Two,
We have Evergreen and Northwest.
on the road, the
On
Washington
the road, yeah.
trip. What's the, ideal outcome?
We have to win both games.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't tie and we can't lose. If we have a tie, odds are we don't win conference.
Really?
Like, we have to win both games. It's a tight. Like, the top two, like us and Carroll, like, we are literally separated by 1 point.
We're up on them by 1 point.
Only because, I mean, we managed to go down there and get a win, and they're tough to beat at home. They're tough to beat, period. And, you know, the guys rocked up on the day.
Yeah.
And we got a win. Downside is the next day we went and played, or 2 days later we played Rocky and got a tie. So that we didn't do enough to get enough separation, if you were.
Yeah.
So they're hot on our heels, and Carroll's.
Where are they at this weekend?
I think they're in Eugene.
I'm glad you don't know.
I think they're in Eugene and Salem.
So they got Corbin and Bushnell. Yeah. Okay. And then so in the CCC, if you win the conference, do you get a bye in the first round, right?
No.
Oh, it's just straight up seed, straight 8 seed.
Yep.
No byes.
Yeah. The only place that you get a bye is national tournament, and realistically, it's generally if you're hosting.
Yeah.
Or the highest seed.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the goal, to be fair, because we went to first round last year, right? And we played overtime.
That was in Georgia.
Yeah, in Georgia.
Yeah.
To number 1.
Yeah.
We played Dalton State.
Yep.
But we played Southeastern Florida to begin, and we went into overtime. So we played 120 minutes instead of 90 minutes.
Right.
And I think that wore us down a little bit.
Yeah, after traveling across the whole United States.
Yeah.
So and national tournament wise, if we qualify, which we should.
Yep, I think we're
right there.
Ideally, yes.
What's the ideal scenario there? What has to happen to make that scenario?
Well, it's two-part. Just us getting the qualifier. If we go win these 2 games this weekend, we ought to get the automatic qualifier. We still have another job to do if we really want to host. And even still, it's probably like a 50, 60-40 split. If you were, we got to go win the tournament as well.
Yeah. So you think both of those gives us a decent shot?
Agreed.
I mean, at least 50%.
Yeah, it's a better shot than what we'd have if we don't.
That's crazy. Like I think about it in my head. You guys are undefeated right now with 4 ties, I think, or
Correct.
3.
Yep.
And you still have to win the conference and win the conference tournament for a 50% shot at hosting. It's crazy, man. It's like. I think about like other sports and soccer's like one of those weird ones, where because ties are involved, but still, nobody's showed that they can beat you yet.
And that said, though, we haven't faced some of the top teams in the nation.
That's true,
right? Like we've faced a top 25 team. I would say that Carroll's right there as well, like as a top 25 team.
Yeah, they're getting votes.
Rocky. I'll be honest with you, Rocky Mountain is kind of people aren't giving them. I think their dues, to be honest.
They tied us.
Yeah, and they've got some offensive weapons that are dangerous.
Yeah.
They're number 10. That kid's class. He's very, very good.
He's good. So win the tournament. Well, first win the conference, win the tournament, and then hope that we get a good seat. What do you have to be? Top 24?
I think essentially to guarantee, we just got to figure out how to be in the top 15, and it's a little different because the polls are one thing, and then the rating percentages. Yeah, there's a whole rating system right now. In that rating system, that came out on Monday. We're ranked 11th in the nation. Last 2 weeks ago, a week ago, we were ranked 9th, so we dropped 2 places. So there's a lot going on inside of that. The polls are more of a how do the coaches see you? So they don't. It kind of weighs into it, but it's not as important as I think as the RPI.
Yeah, I love it, man. Undefeated. I'm going to ask all the coaches this, and I might cut it off at the end, but has EOU switching over to Urban Edge helped out your have you heard anything from parents?
Parents love it.
I love it. It was the best move they've made.
Well, for us, a lot of our players, they don't come from affluent families. Right. And so the idea of spending that money each game to watch their kid play, they just can't afford it.
Absolutely.
And so when it became free, now they're like, I get to watch my kid play
every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
It's been big, to be honest.
I love it. Eastern Oregon. He's EOU head soccer coach Jessy Watson. I'm Dodzy. Jessy, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Jessy. Let's go win this CCC tournament. Let's try to get a home playoff game. That would be sweet. If EOU runs this tournament this weekend and wins convincingly, they have a chance to host a national tournament game. Wouldn't that be awesome? An NAIA national tournament first round game up at Community Stadium. Oh man, I would be there in a heartbeat. This is all brought to you by Northwest Furniture and Mattress. They want to make you comfortable in your own home. I'll be cheering for these soccer teams this weekend. Coach Goodman, Coach Watson, all of my soccer ladies, all of my soccer dudes. I'm right there in your corner cheering you on. Eastern Oregon, that's all I got for you. I appreciate you. I'm Dodsy, and I'm out.